There we go. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's Brittany here. I am with Miss Aleksa for Coffee with MP. If you notice, this is pre-recorded because we're probably out of town when this is happening, but we're super excited to talk to Aleksa today about her journey here at MP, about her weight loss journey. She's been able to lose 42 pounds so far in her journey, which is crazy since October, which is almost
actually more since then.
It's more since then. How much is it now?
I actually this past week finally hit 50.
Look at that. See, so I learned something new. So 50 pounds since October, you guys. That's like not that many months. It's like five months.
Yeah.
That's 10 pounds a month. That's crazy. So I'm super excited to talk to you today about your journey, the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows of it. So let's just get started with, let's just introduce yourself to everybody, who you are and what you do, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Well, my name's Aleksa. Yes, like the stupid automated thing that plays all your music.
Tiffany always says that.
Talking to you. But my name's Aleksa. I will be 29 later this month. I live in Rolling Meadows. I don't know if I should say that on the internet, but it's fine. I guess it's on all my social media anyway. I work for a business-to-business publishing company, so desk job like a lot of people. Been at MP since October of last year. And yeah, I'm married. I have 2 dogs, and that's about it.
That's awesome. And you and your husband are going on vacation here soon, correct?
Yes,
that's so exciting. Where are you guys going?
We're going to Mexico.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
You deserve it. That's so awesome. That's so cool.
Wait.
So this is like super good motivation for like Mexico. You're like, man, I want to get some more pounds off.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now you're 29. There's not a lot of 29-year-olds out there who can say they've lost 50 pounds in 5 months and been determined enough to stick with that. There's a lot of 29-year-olds. I'm 30 and I don't know if I even have that kind of determination right now in my life. So that's super cool. So let's talk. I want to rewind the tape pre-October. I want to rewind the tape back to the Aleksa that came into MP in October. And I also want to dive into the months and the years before that. Yeah. Talk to us about your weight loss struggles up until the point of October.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say that I've always struggled with my weight, like just really for as long as I can remember. So it's always just been, I've probably been a part of maybe 7 or 8 different gyms over the year. So it was never like, I'm just not doing anything. I just wasn't doing the right things. So I always had a gym membership, always trying different diets. I've done Atkins, I've done low carb, I've done juicing, I've done everything. I eat a vegan diet now, so cutting out a lot of things, but it's just been a lot of years of struggling, and things would work for a little bit, but then I'd lose maybe 20, 30 pounds, be really excited about it, but then get back into my old habits and not really realize that I was falling back into those habits, and then getting frustrated when I realized how much weight I had gained back. And just going to the gym and spending a half hour doing cardio and then half hour on weight machines and feeling good about it, but just not seeing amazing results and feeling like just the frustration of, okay, well, I'm in the gym, even if there were times where I was going every single day and just seeing some results, but not anything spectacular.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about the habits that took you back to gaining weight. You talk about I just fell back into old habits. Dive into those old habits a little bit, because I'm pretty sure our audience probably has those similar habits. So let's talk about the habits, and then let's talk about how you recognize that they were bad habits and how you overcame them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, I'm a binge eater, I don't know how to have just one piece of pizza or have one slice of cake. Like, if I'm going to eat something, I go all out. And I think a lot of people, can feel that too. So you'll have, a week where you're really, really great, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to treat myself on the weekend, but it's not, I'm going to treat myself with 1 or 2 pieces of pizza. It's, I'm going to order a whole pizza and eat way more than I should.
Absolutely.
So that's my biggest bad habit that I would fall into, being really, really good and then just binging it all away, which is a hard thing to admit,
yeah,
but definitely something that I've always struggled with.
But the cool thing is it's a truth that you've been able to recognize and acknowledge, and let's talk about how you're overcoming that now, because you lost 50 pounds. So you can't tell me that you're still binging like that. Like, that clearly isn't happening anymore.
Exactly.
How are you mentally overcoming that obstacle?
I think the biggest thing mentally that I've done is just my accountability. Weight loss and dieting and exercise used to always be a very private thing to me. I didn't want to talk about it. You can ask my mom. I'd get really mad when she would ask me about it. I'm like, Mom, I'm not doing this with you. Don't want to talk about it. But I feel like I finally learned, you know, it's good to talk about it. The more people that you know, not that they're going to hold it against you like, oh, why aren't you following your diet you said you're doing? But just having people on that journey with you, like just knowing, okay, well, I told this many people this is what I'm doing. It's just more of an accountability.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's cool because when you know that you have other people that are looking at you that's why a lot of people share their goals like on social media or with their family or with their friends, because now you've told somebody. Exactly. So now you've got to know that that person is eventually going to come back to you and ask you how you're doing with that goal.
Exactly.
And if you can't give them an answer that they're probably looking for, you're more likely to feel ashamed, to feel upset with yourself, and you don't want to feel that way. So like there's just that natural instinct of not wanting to feel like that. So you know, like when you tell people, now I got to do it. Now I've got to be accountable to it. When I tell people I'm going to come to class, people are looking for me now to come to class. And if I'm not at class, now you have somebody that's like, hey, Aleksa, I didn't see you at class today. You know, so that's,
you don't want that like shame feeling.
Right. There's power in accountability, and there's power in human nature. And that's just human nature. We don't want to disappoint people, right? So I think that that's really cool that you shared that. So now fast forward to October, Aleksa, right? How did you get to MP? What made you decide to come here? Kind of what was your breaking point? What was the breaking point to be like, okay, I got to find a place, and I got to find a place now? Let's talk about your breaking point and then why you decided here.
So I don't know that I necessarily had a breaking point, because I would always have, you know, that feeling where, okay, this time it's going to be different. This time I'm finally going to just do it. I'm going to lose as much weight as I want to lose. I'm going to get in shape. It's going to be great. But really, I'm Facebook friends with our studio manager, Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley.
Yeah, shout out Ashley. I've been friends with her sister for a long time. Okay. She's actually one of my roommates when I was at UIC.
Awesome.
God, a lot of years ago.
Dating yourself just a little bit. That's okay.
2007.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I met her through her sister, but I saw her before and after pictures from when she did the 6-week challenge, and I've known Ashley for a long time. So like I remember her like pre any children days, like she was very skinny and like always, you know, her whole family just, they've always looked very fit. And so like just to see her getting back into her fitness and her health and like seeing the change that you can make in 6 weeks, I was like, holy crap. That's amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so impressed. So I messaged her. I'm like, tell me more.
What are you doing?
What did you do? What is this place? And how can I do it? So from there, you know, I was doing a lot of research, like looking you guys up. I've never been a fan of like group exercise or exercise classes. Like probably going back to the accountability. Like if I just go to the gym by myself, I do my thing.
Right.
If I'm on the treadmill at 15 minutes, I'm like, nope, done.
Right.
There's no one that's going to keep pushing you.
Nobody's else expecting you.
Yeah. Whereas if you walk out of a class with 15 people and you just leave, they're going to be like, you okay? Like, what are you doing? But so, yeah, I looked you guys up online. I saw that you guys had a free week trial. So I'm like, you know what? Try it out. Can't hurt to do that. I didn't see anything at the time about the 6-week trial challenge, because I know you guys do that just from time to time. But so I signed up for my free first class. I remember driving here. I got to the parking lot and almost talked myself out of just driving away and never talking to you guys again. I was just like, nope, not doing it, not doing it. But I did it. I walked in. Felt like I was going to die in my first class. But the main thing I took away from it after that first class was, what have I been doing these past 3 years that I've been a member at this other gym? Because after one workout, just like how intense it was, how much I was sweating, the way my muscles were hurting, just I was like, what have you been doing? Like, you've just been wasting time doing these workouts that are not anything like this. And that was really the selling point, like right then and there.
You're like, this is it.
This is something different. This is something that's gonna work, because it's just so completely different from what I've been doing.
So I want to back up to the thought process of you pulling into the parking lot, because I know that there are people that do that. I know, and there are people that actually will drive away and they will never come back. How did you overcome that fear and actually take the steps to come in here? Like, what was your thought process? Because you said, you're like, I almost talked myself out of it, but how did you talk yourself into coming in here?
I stopped. I was like, okay, this is clearly something you wanted to do. Otherwise, you would not have reached out. You would not have followed up on setting up your first class time. Like, what is your reason for not doing it? Because you're scared. Like, yeah, that's a valid emotion, but a stupid reason to not try something.
Right.
Especially something that I knew could be so good for me after seeing Ashley's results in just 6 weeks. And I was like, you know what? I need to at least try it. Try one class. If I hate it, it's not for me.
That's so
I wasted 1 hour of my life. That's it.
Right.
Move on. I know this type of thing is not what I want to do. So it wasn't so much something that changed my mind, but just realizing that I didn't have a good reason not to do it.
There was really no reason for you not to come in here.
Such low commitment. I wasn't even signing up for anything, not paying for anything. It was a free class to try something new.
Right.
See what happens.
That's awesome. So I know that this is going to be a replay, but I think it's important for our audience to know that mindset is so key with this stuff. Like, sometimes you have to trick yourself into doing things because they could be the best things that you ever trick yourself into doing. And I think that in just the years that I've worked with women like yourself and just in recently talking to a lot of the members that we have here, a lot of people struggle with just that positive self-talk. That like, I'm worth it and this is something that I need to do for me. And whether I like it or not, I need this. And so sometimes it's like when you want your kids to eat vegetables. They don't want to eat the vegetables, but you know that they're good for your kids, so you need to make them eat it. It's just like, you know that health and fitness is something that you need in your life and it needs to be a priority. And sometimes you just got to eat the vegetables and learn to like it, right? Because eventually after so long, you will love them and it won't be something that you hate anymore. It will be something that you look forward to. So mindset is key. It's key to talking yourself into things. People spend so much time talking themselves out of things. If they spent just as much energy and effort talking themselves into things as out of things, people would be doing stuff left and right all over the place, right? So I think that's a huge point to what you're saying about coming in here. So that being said, we know that my next question was what kind of pushed you over the edge to joining, and apparently it was this kind of that first class where we were like, okay, clearly I've been doing something wrong for the last, or not necessarily wrong, but I maybe wasn't doing the right things for what I need and what my body needs to really make those changes. So clearly this is something I need in my life.
So I think I literally the next day canceled my other gym membership, and it was just,
you're like, all right, this is
not what I want to do. This isn't what I should be doing. I need to come here, try something different, and just
And now you're 50 pounds lighter, which is crazy. So let's talk about your favorite part of your journey here so far. So let's talk about your journey since October up until now. Like, what are some of the highlights of your journey so far that you've really had here?
I think just overall learning that I could like something that I was so convinced that I wouldn't like. Like a group workout setting with a bunch of women. I never thought that would be something that I would want. Like, just in general, I tend to get along better with men, like at work and things like that. So for me to be so excited and always wanting to come to a gym that's full of just women, it was very surprising to me. So that was a huge highlight. Another highlight was being able to do the internal 6-week challenge. I just really wanted to try it and see how far I could push myself. I was like, what could I do in just 6 weeks? Can I push myself to stick to the strict meal plan and coming in here 3 times a week and just the accountability. And that was a huge thing for me. And then just the last thing, I remember the first couple of classes here, people were just saying, yeah, you become addicted to this place and you get like sad when you miss a workout. Like, that these people are insane. Like, there's no way that it's going to get to the point where I'm missing not being able to come work out. But it's true. Like, I did my week trial and then we went on vacation. And just like in those days that I was gone, I wasn't sad because I was in Jamaica. We were having fun. It was good. But like, I came back and I was just like, wow, like I just can't wait to get back in there and like, go back, try it out again and just get back into that zone. So just that mindset of having something healthy and good that you feel addicted to is just amazing.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the 6-week challenge, because we are coming up on another 6-week challenge here in April. We're going to be doing another 6-week challenge. So if you're watching this and you want to be just like Aleksa with her 6-week challenge, which we're going to talk about her results, then get in here and take advantage. The 6-week challenge is our most popular program because people see such great results. I measured and weighed in a girl today who lost 27 pounds in her 6 weeks. So, and it was similar to you. So let's talk about your results for the 6 weeks and kind of your experience in that 6 weeks.
Yeah. So my results to begin with. So in 6 weeks, I lost 27 pounds. I don't know the exact number of inches, but it was a lot, like to the point where it was noticeable on pictures. Like the before and after, I was like, wow, like
that's
you
crazy.
don't even realize it until you're looking at them right next to each other. But it was just a great experience overall. I remember coming in being kind of nervous, like the first meeting, I was like, oh, what are they going to tell me I have to do, or rather what I can't do? But everything, it made a lot of sense. Like they just walk you through tracking your macros and logging into my fitness pal, which has become amazing, and you know, I use it every day now. Just the importance of things like drinking your water and just planning ahead, meal prepping. That's something that I never did in the past. So like, you think it would sound kind of like painful and boring, I just have to plan everything ahead and have it all, you know, scheduled out, but it's, you know, that quote, it makes sense, if you fail to plan, plan to fail.
Right. So I think the cool thing about it is that it was really a learning experience for you more than anything. Like the results were great, and that was kind of like a byproduct of it, but the learning experience was huge for you. All the things that you learned, from tracking your food to understanding how much you should be intaking and what your output is, to being accountable to yourself, to really planning, right? If you fail to plan, plan to fail. That's our thing here. To meal prepping. You learned so many valuable, valid tools in that 6 weeks that you've been able to carry through your journey.
Definitely.
I think that that's the cool thing about that 6-week challenge is it's really a learning experience. It's a learning experience for you to understand the tools that are necessary to meet the goals that you have for yourself. And now you've been able to just continue that even after the 6 weeks to just amp up your results even more, which is cool.
And just to realize that there's things like that you can implement in your life and continue doing. It's not like I was on a 800 calorie diet that's unrealistic to maintain. Like it was, you feel full when you're eating, you're just eating the things you should be eating to have the kind of results that you want. And I think that a lot of people think that in order to lose, 27 pounds in 6 weeks is a lot of weight. To do, like, have those kind of results, people are like, oh, she must have been starving herself, like not eating, but like it's not true at all. Like there wasn't a single day where I was, like going hungry because I didn't have enough calories. And I think that's something that I never would have believed in the past without trying it.
Yeah, and that's hard mentally sometimes when people come into things like this. They're like, oh, I'm gonna have to starve myself and this and that, and it's like the complete opposite. Like the complete opposite of that. Most people, I always tell people in my 6-week challenge meetings, I'm like, I've never had somebody complain about not having enough food on this meal plan. Like I've never had that. In 5 challenges, I've never had somebody say, I'm hungry, ever, which is unheard of because in society, the stigma is eat less, lose weight, be skinny, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that is so not true. Like that is the complete opposite of what this program and what this challenge even means. So that's really cool. Let's talk a little bit about, I want to touch on a topic that I didn't have a question about, but I think that this would be important. No, it's okay, because I want to talk about being vegan. Because we have a lot of people that come in here that are vegetarian, are vegan, and then their mindset is, oh, this is so hard for me because I am vegan or vegetarian. And you are like the complete opposite of that. Like this has been a lifestyle change for you that you've been able to incorporate and still lose weight on being a vegan. So let's talk a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like, how you mentally got to a point where you're like, I want to be a vegan, and how that has affected kind of your weight loss.
So I mean, really, the way I started it was more for, health reasons. Like I was worried about having high cholesterol. That was probably my biggest motivation to start it. And so, like most things, I watched a documentary on Netflix, and I don't even remember which one it was now because I've seen so many since then. But everything just kind of made sense to me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it, see how I feel doing it, and just the change, like from a regular diet. Like I was a huge meat eater. Like I love going to Brazilian steakhouses and just meat and potatoes. Like that's what I ate. I did a lot of that. And that was up until January of last year. But so, I'm going to try it, see how it goes. And I felt amazing after changing it. I did get to the point where there's so many like vegan substitute foods out there now where it's not necessarily healthy. So you can be a very unhealthy vegan and gain weight. So that was definitely the bucket that I fell into. Like a lot of pasta and just eating way too much. And anyway, so getting back into the like eating healthy food and being vegan, it's so possible. There's so many vegan proteins out there now, so shakes and everything. you think that, you know, you see all this whey protein and that's the only way to go. It's just, it's not true. So you can do that. And there's so many sources of food that have enough protein in them where you can come in here and do your workouts where you're needing that, you know, protein to build your muscle, whether it's through tofu or through even just like beans and lentils and all kinds of stuff. So many foods have protein in it, and I think people don't realize that. So it's just a matter of planning ahead and knowing what you're going to eat. I like to just make one thing on the weekend and have it meal prepped throughout the week so that I'm ready to go. So it just comes back to planning again. It's hard to follow any kind of diet if you don't plan ahead, because it's so much easier to just stop and grab something that's not good for you. But if you're planning ahead, it's not any different than following any other.
And this has really kind of become a lifestyle for you, not really a diet that you follow. This is just your life. This is just a part of your life. This is part of Aleksa. This is part of what you do. And so I think that that's really cool because it's not a diet anymore, which means it doesn't feel like work. This is just your life. I think the problem that some people fall into is that we look at it as a diet, then it becomes work, and then after a while we just get sick of doing it, and then we stop it. Right? So you've got to really look at it as a lifestyle change, something that you're making a decision to change in your life for the better. And when you look at it like that, it's not as much work. And I think that that's kind of how this was for you, is like, now it's not work, it's just a part of your life. And this is just part of what you do.
Just incorporate it.
Which is really cool. So with that being said, we're going to close things out with Aleksa here. The last question I have for you is, if you could give anybody out there that's watching this right now who was where you were when it came to the binging and losing the weight and gaining it back and kind of that negative self-talk and the doubt of group fitness and all that stuff, if you could give those people, the Aleksas of the world, the past Aleksas of the world, that one piece of advice, what would that one thing be?
So many things I could say here.
One or two. You can give me one or two.
I guess what it boils down to is take everything one day at a time. Like, you can do anything for one day. And kind of the reverse of that too. It's okay to have a bad day. You know, you're not going to be perfect. You're human. You're going to have a bad day. You're going to eat too much. You're going to skip a workout. But just don't let that become what you do every day after that. So you have one bad day. You wake up the next day, it's a new day, another chance to make healthier food choices, make the choice to get back into the gym, and just take it one day at a time. That's probably the biggest piece of advice. And the other thing, just make sure you reward yourself. I know you talked about this a little bit in your Friday fitness tip, but that's something I do. So like, I have just on my phone, for every 5 pounds that I lose, I do a little something for myself, just small things. So like, you know, when I lost 5 pounds, I got myself a new cell phone case, and then one of them was going out to get new gym shoes, or one of them was going to get a pedicure. So just little things like, hey, this was a cool thing that you accomplished. Like, celebrate that and do something for you. It doesn't have to be something huge where you're spending a lot of money or anything crazy, but just to motivate you, like, hey, yeah, I am doing a good job, and just remind yourself that. And it's, I think, really important.
That's powerful.
The mindset.
There's power in rewarding yourself, and I want you to notice something when you're watching this, is that nothing of that was food. There was not a single thing that you said, I went out and got an ice cream cone because I lost 5 pounds. Like, that sounds so stupid. People do that though, right?
But it's true.
But it's like, why? But instead, you're doing things that you enjoy, right? Going getting your nails done, or going get a new phone case. Like, those are things that you know will make you feel warm and fuzzy inside because you reached a goal. And those are the things that you have to reward yourself with. The stuff that's going to make you feel good about something are the things that you should be rewarding yourself with. When you're hitting those micro goals, like we talked about, right? Talked about those micro, small goals. 5 pounds here, 5 pounds here, 5 pounds here. Because that 5 pounds is added up to 50 for you so far. And it's still going, which is crazy. So with that being said, Aleksa, thank you so much for sharing your story. I hope, we always say, if it inspires at least one person out there, that's all that really matters with this. Guys, if you're watching this, ladies, if you're watching this, it doesn't even, you understand that when you watch things like this, it's not about you coming here. For me as a fitness professional, I just want people to get healthy, whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, it does not matter, but move. Get up and move. Go do something for yourself. because your future self will thank you later, right? So with that being said, Aleksa, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It was a pleasure getting to talk to you. I look forward to seeing you achieve more and more and more and more and more as you go along here. Guys, if you're watching this, watching the replay of this, when you see it, make sure that you give us some hearts and some likes and some love on Facebook so that Aleksa can get lots of love on the Facebook page. With that being said, guys, we'll see you next week with another episode of Coffee with MP. Thank you.
Bye.